Most organizations are already paying a cost they haven't named. It doesn't show up as one clean line item. It shows up as decisions that keep getting reversed, meetings that eat the calendar, managers who become bottlenecks. Good people who were performing well and then slowly stop bringing their best thinking to work. Rework increases, replies get shorter, ideas stop surfacing. A team's busy all day, but the important work still doesn't move. Most leadership teams can see the symptoms. What they can't name is the pattern underneath, because the issue often isn't that people lack skill. It's that the way the work is assigned, routed, decided, escalated, and absorbed is it taxing the capacity needed to use those skills. At Emergent Skills, we call these the 5 capacity taxes. The first one, it's meeting tax. It's the coordination costs. It's what happens when the calendar consumes the hours when people have their best thinking available. The cost, it just isn't the time spent in meetings. It's the deep work that never happens because the best hours were already spent coordinating the work. The second one, decision density tax. That's the quality cost. It shows up in reverse calls, the missed detail, the bad handoff, the decision made late in the day that has to be repaired later. People still know what good judgment looks like, but under sustained demand, their access to that judgment gets weaker. The third one, recovery debt tax. That's the attrition cost. When teams run under sustained demand with no real recovery built into the operating rhythm, the cost compounds. First, creativity drops, then engagement drops, then the replies get shorter. Then people stop volunteering ideas. Then someone leaves and everyone acts surprised. The fourth one, manager load tax. That's the delay cost. One overloaded manager becomes the ceiling for the whole team. Work waits for approval. Questions sit unanswered. Small decisions just stack up. Team members stop raising new ideas because they already know nothing is going to move. One person's depletion becomes everyone else's bottleneck. And the fifth one, forfeited upside tax. This is the biggest one. It may be the most expensive one. That's the customer signal nobody had the capacity to notice. The innovation idea that never surfaced. The cross-functional pattern that could have saved a quarter of rework. The competitor move your team saw coming but didn't have the capacity to act on. Those aren't soft costs. They're operating costs. The problem is that most organizations don't have a practical way to name them. That's what the Work Demand Diagnostic is built to do. It's a 3 to 4 hour working session for managers and team leaders. Not training, it's not a motivational workshop, and it's not a wellness program. It's a diagnostic conversation about how work is actually moving through the organization, how it gets assigned, how it gets routed, how decisions get made, how problems get escalated, and where the load is getting absorbed. We start by naming the execution pattern your team's been watching but hasn't fully explained. The slow decisions, the rising rework, the overloaded manager layer, the meetings everyone attends but nobody thinks are solving the real problem. Then we map the examples in the room to the actual tax being collected. Not in consultant language, in your language. The meeting that drains the week. The approval path that slows the team. The handoff that keeps breaking. The manager everyone depends on, but nobody can relieve. The opportunity people saw, but didn't act on. Then we run the numbers. Your head count, your loaded compensation, your operating assumptions, the patterns the room named. The result is a directional cost floor built from your own numbers, not an audited figure, not a magical benchmark, a practical starting point for an internal conversation about what this hidden execution drag may be already costing you. You leave with a one-page summary, the patterns named, the primary cost driver, the directional cost floor, and a clear recommendation. Is this worth a full capacity audit or not? That matters because not every problem needs a bigger engagement. Sometimes the diagnostic is enough to name what's happening and give leadership a clearer way to talk about it. And sometimes the room surfaces a pattern that's too expensive to keep guessing about. That's when a full capacity audit makes sense. No pre-work, no homework, no qualified follow-up. Just a structured way to see whether your organization's already paying for hidden execution drag, because the cost is already there in the delayed decisions, the rework, the manager bottlenecks, the good people operating below their actual capability. Name the tax, see where it concentrates, decide what to do next. That's it.